Welcome to King Said So, Africa's one land, one language, one currency, one army on King Said So. Africans can unite. Your Pan-Africanist podcast. Enjoy.
Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters from all around the world. Welcome back to King Said So. It's the morning drive. It's been a minute again. Morning drive episodes are coming in slow, but it's okay. Listen, the reason why I stopped subscribing to DSTV is because of its news channels that are white owned and that push white narratives and that seek to kill the black image and that seek to make sure that it upholds white privilege. That is the problem why I stopped watching DSTV about 2 years. I think it's maybe 3 years now. I was like, no more. It is only now that I'm doing a political analyst and I'm doing Pan-Africanism that I need to get in touch of what mainstream media is saying. But I did not care. Still till today, I don't have DSTV in my house because of what white media does to protect white privilege. Now, today, this morning, you guys got a video of Vuyo Zungula, the president of the ATM party, who's saying that the citizenship of Phil Crate, the president of referendum party, must be revoked. The reason why it must be revoked because he's inciting division in amongst us as South Africans, and it's a very serious issue because what he's saying initially is that we must. They want to create an Israelite state in South Africa, the same Israelite state that we have taken to court, that we are fighting against. He wants to create it here in South Africa, meaning that he is calling for the apartheid 2.0. That is what is happening. And I said, the people who are saying they are Pan-Africanist, never mind them. I want to speak to the people who are saying, King, we don't care about Pan-Africanism. We are here to put South Africa first. This man is a man that we must fight. And we, who've got those little followers who are viewing our channels, must spread the word. Phil Crate is a danger to society in South Africa and must be treated as such. He's got his British citizenship. He's very safe where he is. We must revoke his citizenship and make an example of any white settler who's going to come here and think that they can just cause division into our society. It's very wrong what he was doing. So white media wants to now compare Phil Crate to the ABC party. They want to say, no, but there are parties in parliament that also support this nonsense of Cape independence and all of those things, because they are trying to say, but let's leave him. It's not bad what he's saying and everything. This is what white media is saying. Listen to this. By what we want, which is a unified South Africa, not the message that we are currently pushing.
So clinging on to that last statement that you're making, so as the ATM, for example, you would support a call for cessation from the ABC party calling for a Zulu independence because they are hanging their call on exactly that they want the Zulu province to live according to African norms and standards, what they call how the natives used to live. So is that call, in your view, conducive to democracy, constitutionalism, and liberty?
Look, what we are saying when it comes to Philip Craig, like we mentioned again, there's a difference between Philip Craig, which is a naturalized foreigner in South Africa, versus someone from South Africa who is born in South Africa, has got two parents being South African. We cannot treat those people the same way when it comes to the issue that we are raising, that a person, for example, like you are saying, that is coming from KZN, that the ABC party, for example, you cannot call for their that their citizenship must be revoked, because if that happens, they become stateless. But in the case that is different, which is Philip Craig, who happens to have dual citizenship with another country, and he's making utterances or suggestions that are divisive, then he needs to be dealt with accordingly. So the case of the ABC party, it is a political statement that they are making, and they are making it based on what they would want South Africa to live by, which currently, in our view, there are parties that, like ATM, for example, that are pushing for, in fact, that are saying we need to recognize and appreciate the role of having an African value-driven society. And this is what we are doing or preaching at a national broader level, a country level, national level. So that is the fundamental difference between the ABC and Philip Craig.
You're raising the issue in your statement. You're saying this raises significant concerns regarding the potential fragmentation of South Africa, as Cape independence would undermine the country's unity and diversity, lead to economic instability, and potentially create new social and political tensions. But we've got political parties who are in parliament already, who would have backed a party like Cape Independence or the Cape Exit movement. How do you then rationalize that in your head, that you've got lawmakers who are sitting there every single day who believe in the cessation of the Western Cape?
It's different again, Butabo, because if you remember what I mentioned about, for example, the fundamental difference, again, is the question of citizenship, dual citizenship. That's the first. The second issue, it is the issue that the utterances that is making. If you were to read our letter that we sent to the minister, we made specific reference to him, Philip Craig, wanting to create an Israel-like state in South Africa. The very same Israel that is subject to court proceedings in the ICJ brought by the South African government for the sole basis of committing acts of genocide. Therefore, it is on that reasons whereby his utterances that are very clear, that are leaning more towards genocide, they are leaning towards apartheid, they are leaning towards the subjugation of the indigenous people of South Africa. It is on that reason, again, that the focus is on him. Okay. The other parties can make the political statement, and they don't even mean it, because if you're to openly ask them whether they want the cessation of the Western Cape, they will not give you a straight answer, because for them it's just politicking. But this particular foreigner, which is Philip Craig, is the one that is continuously agitating, raising funds, mobilizing support for this particular genocidal creation of the apartheid-like state in South Africa. And it is for that reason whereby we as the ATM are saying, given that he's got dual citizenship, and therefore it will not be travesty of even international law if his citizenship of South Africa is revoked, because he does have a place that he calls home, which is Britain. So we're saying that let him go to Britain and have in Britain, create the Israel-like state in Britain. Make sure that there's Western values there in Britain. Our Shia is South Africa for South Africans and people who want to abide by the values and the spirit of South Africa.
So this, I think is Thabo. This Thabo guy is trying by all means, to try and downplay the seriousness of this issue. He's trying by all means to downplay the seriousness of this issue. And I asked the same question. I said, if it was a Nigerian, if it was a Lesothian, if it was whoever from Africa who was saying, let's create a province that is separate from South Africa, how would you feel as a black South African? This is what we call white privilege. When white people commit acts of treason, we leave it just in jail. It's just normal. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? So I don't want to be disappointed. I want to see a full South Africa behind the ATM, because the ATM is going to do its part in Parliament. We must do our part on social media, which is what we're good at, and do our part in the streets. Ish. This is why we need Paseta, man. Because Paseta would then organize a march in Cape Town to his residence or to the office of the referendum party to say, you guys are talking nonsense. We are warning you, stop with this rubbish. And if we had Paseta Legal Minds, we will also follow up with opening a case so that this man must go to court. But Tina Sfunu complain just online in Jepela, asenzi next physically. That is why that man, he feels no threat on South Africans. He's not threatened by you South Africans, not even a little bit. And he will continue uttering. If you go and watch his Twitter account, he's still saying, these people will do nothing. Vuyo is out of his mind. I'm within my constitutional right to do whatever I'm doing. Separating South Africans, separating a full country, not Oraniaki, not Kleinfontein. I'm talking about a full province from the rest of South Africa. And white media is protecting him already. They are protecting him. And I told you guys about the great disruption. They are distracting us because, like I said, week by week, white media is there to put news that is going to distract us about issues of land, issues of taking back the economy, issues of changing this constitution. Because this constitution is the constitution that saves him. If something is constitutionally right, does not mean it's morally right. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Hey. Okay. I'm already at work. It's 7:30. Let me get into my duties that I'm paid for. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Leave your thoughts on the comment section about white media using even our black reporters to go and protect Phil on online, hey, so that they can water down this whole thing. Don't. Until we meet again, don't forget to pray. After you pray, stand up, African child. Do your best so that God can do the rest. Peace in Pan-Africanism. I salute.